You're listening to the Overcast, your joke making, fun having pop culture podcast, brought to you by Oversoul Gaming. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast. I'm Justin,
I'm Nick.
and together we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. That's right, no Brooksy this episode again. He had some last minute family stuff come up that he had to take care of and do. He'll give us information all about that in the next episode in his life updates. But in the meantime, though, we do have three people because this episode has a special guest. Those of you who have been fans of the YouTube channel for a while will know him as Ossifer Deacon. It's the one and only Deacon Wolf. Say hi.
What's going on, guys?
So,
Deacon!
bit of a backstory. He's one of my ex's nephews, and we used to record all kinds of Let's Plays together. You would have seen him in my playthroughs of Perception, because that game's fucked with me so much I had to have someone sit in it with me. So, of course, I chose the 16-year-old who's scared of horror games to sit there with me.
This is true. Yeah, I was sitting there pissing my
I
pants.
think by proxy, though,
Hilarious.
honestly, it just made me feel better that you were more scared than me, you know? Like,
Well, yeah.
but it still
That's
wasn't as
fucked up.
it still wasn't as bad as it still wasn't as bad as Outlast 2.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
That game made me legit angry.
Dude.
But yeah, you'd also seen him in a lot of challenge videos, like the Don't Laugh challenge, where 6 chickens and a loaf of bread is what got him.
Yeah, I spit everywhere too.
It was mostly because I was waving a cat toy in his face while I said it.
I did a Twitch stream of Outlast, and I let out a scream that I didn't know I was capable of.
Yeah.
This is prior to me coming out of the closet.
that'll do it.
Yeah, and it ended up waking up my daughter out of a dead sleep.
Yeah, that will do it.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, yeah, he was in all kinds of stuff. I can't. Were you there for Bean Boozled, Deacon?
Oh yeah. No,
there?
no, I was not. No, I was
No,
not. It was
no, you
Ryan.
weren't.
Oh, that
Nick was
fun.
though. Nick was there for
Yes,
that.
I was.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, but you were there for
remember
the change, both of the change challenges.
Oh
The
yeah.
funny-
I
Don't
did
laugh
that.
challenges.
Spoon?
Yeah. Spoons, Water War spoons. The 7-second challenge with Dalton, where you rolled on the floor and banged into a chair.
In my head. Yep.
Yeah, some of the funniest moments. You can look forward to all these clips again in the reactions and highlights series finale coming soon. So, but anyways, as is tradition, when we have a guest on the show, we like to let them go first for the life update / small talk section. So, Deacon, what's going on with you? What's good with life right now?
Well, it's been a while, so just a long story short, just to put it in together, I went to being from a line cook, flipping burgers and making fries for people at a bar, and enjoying that, and going out and doing crazy ass shit. Now I'm doing a new job here. I'm a HDG machine operator, third shift. I'm a night bird. I'd be working all the hours everyone's asleep, and then I'd be going home when everyone's waking up. It's kind of fun, actually, because I sleep when everyone's gone, and it's quiet. I don't have to worry about anybody slamming or anything. Well, except for the fucking noise outside. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I got a new car. I've been able to go to Michigan recently. Been going on this road trip every now and then. I've sometimes have done it right after work. So I would work from 9 p.m. all the way up to 5 a.m., get in my car and go, all right, I'm in my work clothes. I'm going to go home, change, and then I'm going to go to Michigan. And I would drive straight through Indiana. And now, mind you, it would be dark out for like,
Madman.
yeah, it would be it would be dark out for like the first hour,
Now,
driving.
for our listeners, the starting point is Northern Illinois, correct?
Yeah, right outside of, well, about an hour or two outside of Chicago. So, yeah, and then I would take off, go through Indiana,
Nibbler,
and
no, I
it
don't
would
need
be
your
so
help.
many. It would be so many
How
people.
long does it take you to get there?
2.5 hours.
Hmm.
How fast do you drive?
85 to 90. I'm not going to disclose anything above 90 though, so you get that.
Jesus Christ.
You get 90, nothing more, nothing
He's
less.
just rascal flatting all the way down, Life is a highway. Yup.
Not
Dude.
okay, maybe some of it, but I got
Someone's got a lead foot.
yes, that size 14. Gotta love it.
I don't know. Could you
but-
just picture Deacon with Fabio hair in a Corvette driving down like the Vegas Strip at like 90 in the middle of the desert, just blasting Rascal Flats?
Jesus Christ.
It wouldn't be Rascal Flats. It would probably be Limp Bizkit or something like that.
Fair enough.
Jelly roll.
Jelly Roll has been pretty good. I like Liar. Liar is pretty. I like that
Yes.
one.
Such a good song.
But no, I recently looked into it and everything, and I think I haven't been diagnosed. I probably should go, but I think I have ADD, and I listen to Netflix a lot on the roads and, and like Hulu and shit. So there would be times people were listening to Bruno Mars and shit. I'm listening to Criminal Minds, listening to how a serial killer is killing somebody, like with a screwdriver down in the basement in the neck, deep.
There are some shows that I can consume just by listening to without looking at, and yeah, stuff like Family Guy is definitely one of them.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, I'll switch it up every now and then. It'll be, and I'm also a huge anime. Well, I consider myself huge on anime. I need to expand my horizon and go more into other ones. But I mean, I listen to My Hero a lot, Attack on Titan, Criminal Minds. I'll switch it up to Family Guy. American Dad has been one of those recently too. I put on Adventure Time.
Oh yeah, solid. This man has good taste.
See, I mean, I just grew up on these cartoons and everything. And,
You're welcome.
I mean, it wasn't just you, all right? I found out on Cartoon Network, Regular Show, all that other stuff too. I got Regular Show off of Cartoon Network. I remember that one because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it played, and I was like, "All right, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna watch this."
Oh yeah, I watched that show. Had a great finale.
Oh, it was so good. I mean, I kind of wish they had a spin-off to it, but at the same time, I do like how they ended it off. And because a lot of these spin-offs nowadays, Teen Titans Go, for example.
We don't speak of Teen Titans Go.
Okay. As dumb as that show is, I will admit one time there was a part that made me laugh, and Dalton, and we both hate that show. And it was Robin was like really old for some reason and trying to blow out his birthday candles, and he was taking too long, and Starfire said, "Ugh, he's taking all 4 of the Evers." Thought that was funny.
Okay, I can see why everyone's sort of laughing at that. That was pretty good. It's
Every once
good,
in a while, there's a good joke in a bad show.
Yes, that is true. I mean, I'm not going to mention any other shows, but there's some Netflix originals out there that have a good joke, but the rest of the show is just terrible. I'm not going to name any of them. I'm good though.
Fair.
No, but I mean, yeah. Other than that, I've been just sitting around trying to relax after work and everything. Work's been going 5 days, 6 days recently has been, well, not recently, mandated for as long as I've been there, and I've been there for about 6 months now. working 6 days a week. But they recently started doing this rotation stuff, so I get one extra day off a month. It's awesome. One extra day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any noteworthy stuff lately? Any concerts you go to? See any good movies in the theaters recently?
I did go
Start
and
playing any games?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to start with this one game. I need to go double check it though, because it's kind of like a progression thing. Anyways, no, I did go rewatch Revenge of the Sith in theaters,
Oh, nice.
and it
Nice.
was it was awesome to actually experience how it felt to watch that movie in theaters if you were there to watch it the first time it came out. Like it was awesome. Even though I've already seen the movie 27 different times and I keep rewatching it. I'm one of those creatures of habit. I go back and watch the same stuff. And every time I watch, I feel like, and I just feel like it. Every time I watch it, I relearn new things and I find more things out. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't remember that part. What the fuck did they say there? So, of course, I need to rewatch things because I'm like a person that has short-term memory loss or has dementia early stage. And I'll watch something or I'll retain something for maybe 2 seconds, and someone will go, "Hey, did you remember that?" I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "I just told you." They would literally be like, "Hey, my birthday is May 2nd." I'll be like, "All right, cool. Your birthday is May 3rd?"
Fair enough. Revenge of the Sith, I found, had a more emotional impact on me when I rewatched it recently after watching the entirety of the Clone Wars animated series. Which is one of the best Star Wars things I've ever seen. I've been doing a chronological re-experience of all the canonical media, starting with Acolyte and ending with Rise of Skywalker. So right now I'm on the game Jedi Fallen Order, doing a replay of that, but
Oh, such a good game.
I kind of put it on the back burner for a while. Next up is the Obi-Wan show, and then the Solo, and then like Rebels and Andor and all that stuff before the fourth movie, Rogue One. So I'm looking forward to finally seeing all that stuff for the first time. I've seen Obi-Wan, but the rest of it I haven't. So, and I've heard really good things about Andor. So, yeah, so I will say Clone Wars and The Bad Batch. I love the movies, all the movies be damned, though. Clone Wars and The Bad Batch are the two best pieces of media in all Star Wars continuity. I swear to God.
I'm
Those
rewatching Clone Wars too.
Those shows are so good. So good. But, all right. I guess, all right, I'll pick up the second spot here. And I just want to say I recently visited family last weekend for Easter. We went out to Rockford and to Dalton and Lindsay's house. Deacon, you don't know this, but Dalton's wife Lindsay is pregnant now.
Oh, congratulations.
So I'm going to be an uncle. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to a co-ed baby shower. So me and my mom are gonna go. So yeah, we went there and stayed at Dalton and Lindsay's place for the night, and Nick, your cat Nibbler, her twin brother Pazu was there.
Nice.
Because they own him, and
Yes.
I think I sent you some pictures.
Yeah, I saw.
He looks exactly like her, doesn't he?
He
Just
does.
much bigger.
Yeah.
He's a sweet boy. And they have Bagheera, a cat that I found out here, a stray I found out in Freeport that I gave to my brother. He is such a sweet boy. So it was nice to see those cats again, and of course the family. But the reason we all hung out together besides Easter was Carissa was also going to get a tattoo because, Dalton's a tattoo artist now, works at Sanctuary Collective out in Cherryvale.
Yeah.
And he did Persephone. She wanted Persephone, Hades' wife, on her arm.
Nice.
So she got that, and we hung out, had some food, we were talking. We did homemade mini pizzas. Like Lindsay made the dough, and then everyone just put their own toppings on, stuck them in the oven, and then you had your own
Oh,
little
that's fun.
personal. Yeah. Um, and Ryan, so I was shown two new shows for the first time. Ryan wanted me to see this anime called Solo Leveling, which I really am enjoying so far. And it is basically like an MMORPG in anime form. It focuses on, it's in this world where these gates appear and some people are born with magical powers that make them warriors, and they're all different ranks and different classes, like tank and healer and stuff like that, like a video game. And they go through these gates and do dungeon raids and fight the monsters and kill them in there, and end up closing the gate before the monsters can break through into the real world and kill innocent people. So they're like guardians of reality in a sense, by going through these gates and fighting these otherworldly creatures. And it's basically like dungeon raiding in an MMO. Is exactly how it is. It's called Solo Leveling, though, because the main protagonist of the show has access to these screens that no one else can see, where he can enhance his own abilities, because he's one of those like very low rank people that can barely fight goblins, but he ends up getting a second chance at life, and slowly but surely he starts becoming one of the most powerful heroes ever. It's a very similar setup to My Hero Academia, actually. Just with like,
where have I seen this before?
right, just like, well, I mean, all shonen anime, quite frankly, is probably where you've seen it before.
Yeah.
But to its credit, Solo Leveling is not for the faint of heart. This is a very violent show, like very violent. Like you're seeing people get, like, there's blood spraying everywhere, people getting crushed to death, chopped in half.
Jesus Christ!
Like, it's
I need to watch this show.
Yeah, Solo Leveling on Crunchyroll. It was really good, and then we also watched the first couple episodes of Righteous Gemstones, which Dalton wanted us to see, Dalton and Lindsay, which I can talk more about later because it is technically a comedy. It has John Goodman, Danny McBride, and Adam Devine, and it's basically Sunny in Philadelphia if they were all like Joel Osteen.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And they were successfully running a mega church instead of running a failing bar in Philadelphia. It's a very tongue-in-cheek satirical take. It's definitely mocking like mega churches and people like Joel Osteen that use religion for profit instead of good. And I loved it. I loved it from what I've seen. So I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. Like, this is. I love this kind of mocking satire stuff.
I don't think I made it through the first episode.
Did you not get it?
No, it's Danny McBride.
You don't like Danny McBride?
No,
okay.
His character is just, I don't know.
I mean, they're not supposed to be likable. That's kind of the point.
Danny McBride specifically, because he's in other. I've really disliked his some of his other projects that he's worked on.
Yeah, you might just not like him, like as an actor.
Yeah, I don't get his humor. He's just an asshole. It's just a dick.
Fair enough. Yeah, he was a dick in Tropic Thunder. He was a dick in This Is the End. But then again, so was everybody.
Yeah.
He's an acquired taste. He was definitely a dick in Pineapple Express, but also he was supposed to be. Yeah, you know what? He's probably one of those people that every character he plays is an asshole, but in real life he's probably like a big sweetheart. That's usually how it works.
Yeah, probably.
That would be Hollywood.
So, but yeah, that was, besides that, basically, I started playing Expedition 33. I was going to make that my Media Corner entry, but I decided against that because, one, Brooksy's not here, and I want him to be here for this because he's playing it too. And two, I don't think I'm far enough in it to really talk about it. From what Ryan's way ahead of me and what from he's been telling me, he's in like Act 3, and he said there are some game mechanics that don't even get introduced to you until like later in the game. So it's like I think I need more of a perspective because there's a lot I could say about it now, but not enough to give a solid review. It would be like if I was to review it right now, I would be reviewing it in what I like to call the honeymoon bias phase, where it's still early on and the cracks haven't really shown yet, if there are any to be shown, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't want to pull, I don't, I don't want to pull an Avowed where, like, you may remember when I reviewed Avowed, I gave that game like a 7 out of 10. I think
Yep.
now that I'm closer to the end, because I've been playing that too, and I'm getting very close to the end, I think I would actually raise that to an 8, if I'm being honest. Maybe a 7.5, but it is... I'm having a lot more fun with that game than I thought I would, especially in the later stages.
Fair enough.
I don't know. It's fun. It plays like Skyrim, but it's got Dragon Age companions, and they're all fun and likable companions. They're great. I just picked up one that looks like a fucking Mogwai, like a pink Mogwai, and she's so cool. She's also incredibly horny for some reason, but
Jesus Christ.
she speaks in innuendo quite a lot. She's very sassy is probably the way to put it. And she calls everyone darling, you know. So
Don't we have an update on our little fantasy game we got going on?
yeah, but Brooksy's not here, and it affects him the most. I will say this, though. Since Grand Theft Auto 6 got delayed until next year, Brooksy's
No way, it did?
Yep, it's
Yes.
been delayed till...
Oh my fucking god, dude.
It's been delayed till May of... What they say was the release date? May 2026?
May 26th.
Of 2026, yeah. So
At least it's in the spring of 2026 and not the fall.
I didn't even know.
Meanwhile, on my
Oh,
roster,
no.
Borderlands 4 got pushed up to September. So,
Oh, it did?
yeah.
Okay, now I'm happy.
September 12th. He said now I'm happy.
Well, September my birthday month, so yeah, that's better. That's way better.
Oh boy, yeah, I know it was. Nick was like, okay, so it's sad news for Nick that GTA 6 got delayed, but it's good news for him in the fantasy league thing that we're doing with Brooksy, because now he actually stands a chance in these runnings with because Brooksy
Got the first round pick.
Yeah, the Wheel of Fate decided that he got to go first. Yeah,
that was the first game I was going to go with, and it got taken right from out from underneath me.
Yeah, we're doing a fantasy league thing where we picked 8 games each, and we're and their Metacritic scores total next year are going to be calculated to see who won. There'll be some kind of prize. So yeah, Borderlands 4 was one of the ones on my roster. Huge miss with Lost Records. I put more faith in that than I should have. I was hoping for better from Don't Nod, but the critics did not like it. Well, they were lukewarm on it. 77 on Metacritic, probably the lowest rated game on our entire roster. So, between all three of us. Right now, though, Nick, you had Expedition 33 on your roster, and that's currently the highest rated game of 2025 point blank. So that's a huge boost for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I wish I had put South of Midnight on my roster now, because goddamn, that game did well. So but yeah, I finished South of Midnight. That's the other thing, and I have to agree with Brooksy's review in the last episode. Except instead of a 9 out of 10, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10, and the only reason for that is because the final boss fight disappointed me. The final boss fight is just wave after wave of regular enemies instead of an actual boss, and I thought that was kind of lazy. But besides that, superb game. Everything else about it, fantastic.
I'm enjoying it myself as well.
Yeah, I'm so glad for that. I'm so glad.
I have not played it.
It's it's a lot like Alice Madness Returns, but with elements of like Ratchet and Clank, Crash
Ooh.
Bandicoot. It very much feels like a PS3 era action adventure game, but like in a good
Yeah,
way.
it really
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's free on Game Pass. A lot of these games, Expedition 33, Avowed, South of Midnight, all free on Game Pass right now.
Do I hear sponsorship?
No, it's not a sponsorship. It's just Game Pass is, quite frankly, like the best deal in gaming right now. If you have an Xbox or a PC that can run these games, it's the shit on there right now is all like highly rated, critically acclaimed stuff. You know,
Wow.
you could get Black Ops 6 on there too, which I actually enjoyed. And I don't even like Call of Duty, but I like that one.
Oh wow.
So
That's saying something. I'm not even gonna lie. Out of years I've known you and that we've talked and everything, I've told you how many times I played Call of Duty. You're just like, I do not like first-person shooters. To hear you say Black Ops 6 was good, that's surprising.
well, it's basically Mission Impossible. I didn't. I was expecting more army stuff, and instead I got like espionage. So I was happy with that. Actually, there's a
No.
lot of stealth, and I like stealth. Um, that's all I've been up to lately. I did watch a movie lately, and I'm going to talk about in the topic because it's funny. So, Nick, your turn.
All right, let's see. So Wednesday, after Willow got home from school, we made a little trip up to a town that has a very large Dutch community called Pella, Iowa. And the reason we went up there is they right around this time of year they have their tulip festival they call Tulip Time. This the first the first thing that came to mind is like this sounds like something that this sounds like something that would be in the things to do in this town on Small Town Murder. I'm like, is there a small town murder episode of Pella, Iowa? No, damn it. Because this sounds like something that would be in that section of a Small Town Murder episode. But we went up there, we walked around and we looked at the tulips, but we mainly went up there for the Dutch letter pastries that the Jarsma Bakery has, and it is their specialty. Oh
Yarsma
my
Hardy.
dude, it's so fucking good.
I also love
It's
how you were so disappointed that no one had died, so you couldn't listen to a podcast episode.
oh
Like no one got murdered here. Damn it!
well, I mean, you put it that way, it does sound kind of bad.
Yeah, but without crime and murder, there'd be no true crime podcasts.
You're
I
not
guess.
wrong. Um, let's see. Oh, no, the Dutch letters. It's like a pastry that's made in the shape of an S, but it's filled with almond paste, and it doesn't taste. To me, it tastes like more like a cinnamon sugary type thing. It doesn't taste like almond paste. It tastes more like of a cinnamon sugary type thing,
Yum.
and it's really fucking good. Um, I watched the movie Companion.
Oh, did you? I've been meaning to watch
Yeah,
that. Because Dead Meat
I
did a podcast episode on it.
dude,
I'd like to
it
listen to
was interesting.
another A24 one. I think right.
No, it isn't.
No,
I
no.
thought so. I thought so too. But it does not have A24 attached to it.
Okay. Is it Neon? Is this one Neon?
I think so.
Okay.
I believe so. No, it's New Line Cinema.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But I would say WrestleMania has happened since we last recorded, and
Mhm.
I have recorded and put out. Justin, you put out the wrestling recaps for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, and I have a little bit of an update on that little side project. I may have found a co-host for that, and he has 34 years as a WWE fan. 34 years of experience as a WWE fan, and has disposable knowledge with no platform for it. And I think this is the perfect person for my to co-host my little side project. I am so freaking excited.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, folks. Nick's Wrestling Recaps, episode 1, is available now. It will be in the same podcast feed as this show because it's a supplement of it. Um, Kind of like how What Culture Gaming has basically 3 different podcasts that all show up in the same feed. They have their main podcast, their Untitled Banter podcast, and their Wind Up, and all 3 of them have different artwork, but they all show up in the same feed and involve the same people. So that's how it's going to be here. You'll see Nick's Wrestling Recaps with different artwork show up in the same feed as this podcast, so you don't have to look for it anywhere else. If you're already subscribed to this, then you'll see it. It'll also be on YouTube as well, just like this one.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Look forward to the next one that will be I'll be covering WWE Backlash on May 10th.
Speaking of which, something big last night. You want to tell us about that?
Yes. This was this perfectly leads it's a perfect segue into what I was going to talk about next. So, WWE made a little stop in Des Moines last night for Friday Night SmackDown. And me, Sarah, her brother, and her stepdad all went, and we sat 6 rows behind the announce table, the commentator's desk. And man, dude, I've been to a lot of shows. Never a live show. They had cameras left and right. They had a whole dude, seeing the production on this was pretty freaking cool.
So if someone was watching this on the TV, they might have seen you in the audience.
Maybe. I told a couple of people at work that, because there's a few wrestling fans at work, that I was going to be there and where I would be sitting. So they said, yeah, they'd look out, they'd keep an eye out. Nobody saw me. There was, yeah, no, no, it was one of the biggest.
Well, you were in the nosebleeds, anyways, weren't you?
No,
No?
no.
How close were you?
No.
Dude, I literally 6 rows away from being ringside.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 rows away from being
That's
ringside.
close.
Yeah, six rows behind the commentator's desk. The commentators are on the opposite side of the barricade, directly in front of the ring, on the opposite side of the ramp where the wrestlers come out.
So
Dude.
what was it like to be there for this? And did your side win?
I have a lot of thoughts on this. LA Knight lost his title to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. I knew that was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna get decimated. I didn't know he was gonna put up a good fight, as good as a fight as he did. I I guess
Okay.
because I don't have a way to watch SmackDown live other than when they're in town, like last night. I don't have a. I mean, I guess I could go on YouTube and watch the highlights, which I do for some. Which I do for some of the storylines that I care about. I'm lost on some of it because I don't watch the highlights. I'm having a hard time connecting where Damian Priest comes in for the because Damian Priest had a match against LA Knight last night, and Solo Sikoa from the new Bloodline, he intervened, and they stopped the match, so nobody won. So later in the night, Nick Aldis, the general manager of SmackDown, made an executive decision to make the match for Backlash for the United States Championship. He initially said it was going to be a triple threat. It would be LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Oh, but Drew McIntyre just got added to the picture, so now it's a fatal four-way for Backlash. I'm like, the match that I'm really looking forward to, I think my most anticipated match for Backlash is Randy Orton versus John Cena for the undisputed title.
Okay.
Randy Orton needs to win this because what John Cena is doing is this is his last year as an in-ring competitor. He's retiring after 2025. And he said when he leaves, he's taking that title with him. He's taking it home with him. And he's going to essentially reset and erase all of this. Basically, Randy Orton and anybody else who has had multiple times as the WWE champion would have to restart at 0 with a new championship title. If they choose to go that route. I personally think that Randy Orton needs to win this. He needs to beat John Cena and take the title simply because it is happening in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. He needs to win this match.
That would be the place to do it.
Yes, it absolutely would. And it would stop John Cena from ruining wrestling like he says he's going to.
Sounds like you have enough
fuck John Cena.
Sounds like you have enough thoughts from the thing you went to last night. You could do a Nick's wrestling recaps on that.
I mean,
yeah, you say you have so much thought that you're stumbling,
dude.
It's like I'm not making fun of you for it. It's just
no.
It's like there's so much thought there that you're just like, how do I put this all into word? I need to put this into word to make sense, but I have this to say and this to say.
I could talk for hours.
He can...
On wrestling alone. I would lose track of time.
Yeah, he can.
If I was, the only reason I was able to keep the time of my recap under an hour was because I had notes. Otherwise, I would have just rambled.
Fair enough.
But no, yeah, like it was overall, it was. Seeing Aleister Black come back from AEW was really fucking cool. He gives off major Undertaker vibes. Like he's like a modern day Undertaker. But oh man, I ended up getting a shirt from the merch stand. Big surprise there. But the shirt that I got, I've been trying to get my hands on since the last wrestling event that I went to last year at the Metro Center in Rockford. They were advertising it on the big jumbo screen that hey, go get the CM Punk return shirt at the merch booth. They didn't fucking have it. So I go to this one and they have plenty of it. So I ended up getting the CM Punk, the Chicago flag, black, blue, and red, and then the fist holding the lightning bolt, the CM Punk flag.
Nice.
It was pretty, yeah, hell yeah. We Sarah and I we got our picture taken. Her brother took our picture right by this is well before the show started. We asked the guy sitting there at the barricade, the security guy, if we could take a picture right by the barricades, right by the announce table. He said, "Yeah, that's fine." So we got our picture taken right by the barricade. That is the closest I have ever been to a WWE ring.
Nice. Very cool. Sounds like you had
It was
dream experience for a wrestling fan.
Man, dude. The only thing that would have made it better, not complaining by any means, because I know, Sarah, you're listening. The only thing that would have made it better is a VIP package.
Mm.
I did see that there were some VIP people that actually got to sit on the ring apron and take selfies. They were doing their own entrances up and down the ramp. That's so fucking cool. And I would love to do that someday.
Nice. Yeah, well, maybe one of these days.
Maybe.
Alrighty then.
Man. But yeah, no, it was fun.
I'm glad you had a good time. Well,
yes.
With all of that out of the way, I don't really have a good way to transition into the topic off of wrestling besides bringing up Nacho Libre. Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was a thing
Nacho
that
Libre.
existed. Anyways,
Yeah.
With all that,
not one of Jack Black's better projects.
With all that being said, we're gonna transition on over to this episode's topic.
Let's go.
If I'm gonna summon the Comedeity, then I'll need a lot of blood.
All right, everybody, here we are at the topic of this episode, which is all about comedy. The three of us together are going to combine our powers to summon the god of comedy, or the Comedeity, if you will. So, anyways, I'm going to start by asking you gentlemen your favorite comedy media in different aspects. Let's start with movies, the most popular way of comedy being perceived.
Oh, there's so many.
What is your all-time favorite comedy movie? Number one, The Biggin.
Oh, dude, that's such a hard question.
Yes, I told you to be prepared
People
for this.
are going to hate me. People are going to hate me for mine. Mine is The Interview.
The Interview? Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Not not a lot of people are going to agree with me because there are so many other options out there, just like Nick said. I mean, there's so many more. Like there's ones that include Snoop, Ice Cube, Kevin Hart, especially Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I mean, there are a lot of other comedy movies out there. I mean, what was it? Central Intelligence is a pretty good one too. But the interview
The whole reason I ended no, I'm not even. No, never mind. I'll save that for later.
Okay.
That's a political thing.
You see, yeah, you can get into me. You can get into me. I'm not political about it. I'm nowhere political about it. It's just so the interview. So the reason why I say the interview is because every time I watch that movie, it has never failed to get me to not laugh. I mean, all this shit that is in it and everything. That like the time the motherfucker had to reach in and get this missile out of this lion's, or what was it, a tiger? It was a tiger's head, and he had to shove it up his ass. That part in the movie, every single time when he breaks the audio or the microphone with his voice when he's shoving it up, it always makes me fucking laugh.
Oh, if we're gonna talk most like memorable funny moments from different things, I've definitely got one for you. There's several from 21 Jump Street, the Channing Tatum Jonah Hill one.
Oh yeah.
But most particular, my name's Jeff. Everybody
Yep.
loves that. It became a meme.
My name's Jeff.
Yeah.
I made my Steam name that for a while, and it wasn't my name is Jeff. It was my name is Steve Rogers. That was the.
Nick,
I like turtles.
Nick, I think you could. I'm surprised that you didn't immediately say one of the Deadpools when I asked favorite comedy movie. I mean,
If I had to, I'm gonna. This has always been one of my absolute favorites,
okay.
and I would say it's one of my top favorites. Even more so now because of everything that's going on in the world that people just call it woke. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Okay,
That's a good choice.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Robin Williams is
Yes.
always a good choice. There is no bad
Yeah,
Robin
exactly.
Williams movie.
No, there's
Exactly.
there's not a bad movie he has ever done.
Especially
Like,
in
they-
hindsight.
There's a lot of people
Like
right now. There's
to
a
the
lot of people
point
like,
where
"Oh my
when
God."
you know how like usually when a celebrity dies, there's plenty of people that go around telling jokes. I'd noticed something. There was no jokes to be had. No memes, no nothing.
Yeah, to be
When he
fair,
died.
that's a good point. I didn't really see any Robin Williams roasts after he passed away, and that's saying
No.
something because fucking
He was
like
a comedy genius.
literally a couple months after Paul Walker passed away, they were making jokes about it on the Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber. Like, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am surprised by that.
No, yeah. That is something that I did notice, and I'm like,
You're right though that there are a lot of hard choices. I'd have to say, for me, I'm gonna say Popstar, the Lonely Island movie, Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping, the mockumentary about Connor for
Yes.
real.
I need to watch that. I'm not gonna lie.
it's essentially the Lonely Island movie.
Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
I know the Lonely Island. I know that because of Justin, actually.
Yes. Well,
like I know them because of that.
you should know they've made since we're on comedy anyways, they've made a comeback lately. I'm not going to go hard on it though because we'll talk about music anyways, but they've made a comeback lately and they have new songs like Sushi Glory Hole and Here I Go. Yeah, Sushi Glory Hole is a fucking
That
banger.
is awesome.
It's such a banger.
I'm listening to that right after this.
Yeah, and they have a podcast now. It's called the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast, done by the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers, where they talk about what it was like to work on SNL. And every episode, they go episode by episode and talk about the different digital shorts and songs that they've done and movies that they made. The most recent episode they did, they just had Amy Poehler and Fred Armisen on as guests on the most recent one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I love it. It's really good. And Andy Samberg, of course, went on to do Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and which was one of the best TV shows ever. So, so yeah, I'm gonna say pop star. I think there's a lot of great ones out there, though. We're gonna stick on movies for just a second, though, because I do want to say it was very hard for me to not choose the Jim Carrey classic Liar Liar. What a great movie that is. The one where he's cursed to tell the truth all the time. And the stuff that it makes him do is funny as hell. Since he's a lawyer and he's cursed to not lie, there's this one scene where he's trying to get out of this court case because he has to lie in order to get through it. So he goes in the bathroom and starts beating the shit out of himself to make it look like someone beat him up so he can get out of it. And this guy comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?"
I've seen that.
It's great. And there's a part where the cop pulls him over and he's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And then he just rambles this long list of all the shit that he did. Like, I ran a red light, I didn't check before crossing, blah, blah, blah. You know, I didn't turn on my blinker when I turned, yada, yada. And also, I was speeding. Yeah. It's great. If you've never seen Liar Liar, you have to see Liar Liar. It
is a very good one.
It's a 90s movie, but it's so good.
Another really good Jim Carrey movie, just to piggyback off of that, is Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh yeah.
I've heard things. I've heard. I need to watch it.
That one gets dark though too. Like that's one.
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely about schizophrenia.
Yes.
So I do have it was a hard pick between The Interview and Ride Along for me, because I do enjoy and I do love the first Ride Along. I haven't really watched Ride Along 2 that much, but I do remember one scene from it when Kevin turned around and said, "You are my servant," and then he just he slapped the shit out of Kevin, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, I'm over here."
Speaking of Ice Cube, I just watched the movie that he did with Charlie Day, Fist Fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I love Charlie Day too. I didn't like him at first because I didn't like his voice. It took me a while to get used to his voice, because he's always got to scream it. You know, it's like yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
he his voice reminds me of Gonzo.
Gonzo from the Muppets. Yeah. But one of the funniest movies I've ever seen that Charlie Day was in, and kind of what really sold me on him, besides Sunny in Philadelphia, because he's funny as fuck in that too, but was Horrible Bosses.
Oh, such a good movie.
Oh, my mom loves that movie, and I've seen it so many times because it's
the second one was pretty good too.
Yeah. Oh, but it doesn't hold a candle to the first one, though.
That's true, fair, yeah.
What is the actor's name in it? He also played in Pacific Rim. Oh, what is his name? He was the science guy or whatever that put did the thing with the kaiju brain or whatever. He was also in Horrible Bosses.
I know the three main guys are Charlie Day, Jason Bateman, and Jason Sudeikis.
What's it, Bateman? I don't know. I have to look at their faces again. I don't remember names. I remember faces.
Well, Jason Sudeikis was on SNL. He was the guy that he was the guy that looks like everyone's dad, and he always talked like he was chewing gum. So.
Oh, I know. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. But yeah, no, in that
he's very white, very like, "Howdy, Mr. Henderson," kind of white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, that movie is actually really, really fucking good. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head because it's been so long since I've seen it. But it was the three dudes, and they were or whatever. They were in the forest doing some shit. It made me
doing
laugh
shit
all
in the
the time.
forest.
Yeah. You know what? Might as well make that a movie right
Are
there.
you talking about Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Or
no,
the one where the chain
gang,
the three guys in the chain gang are trying to escape?
You know, I'm just
or was it?
I'm inebriated.
Wild Hogs?
No, Wild
was
Hogs. That was
No.
Tim Allen and Martin Lawrence, actors that aren't in things anymore.
Yeah, really.
Like God, the first thing I ever saw Martin Lawrence in was this movie with Steve Zahn called National Security.
Oh,
that was I saw that movie so many times. Okay. By the way,
it's Charlie Day, by the way. That's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But it was a scene in the movie that just made that I remembered, but now it's just slipping my mind. Like I was literally thinking about it and then it was gone. It's one of those times, you know.
The most
my dementia kicked in. My dementia kicked in. I can't tell you what happened.
The most recent thing I've seen that had three dudes doing weird shit in the forest was Please Don't Destroy His Treasure, a Foggy Mountain movie.
Oh, man.
Which was basically a modern-day remake of Without a Paddle, for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Yeah, Without a Paddle. Seth Green and Dak Shepard. How many things has Seth Green been in that you didn't realize he was in? You know what I mean? Like Austin Powers?
Austin Powers, yes.
Yeah, he was
the son. I just watched... Oh, yes, Seth Green. He sure was.
Of course, he was not the reason anyone watched that movie. It was definitely Mike Myers, but
Scott Evil. He was Scott Evil.
Yes. Sharks with lasers.
Watched a movie that came. I forget what year this movie came out. I know it's an old ass movie, but I just watched the Chris Rock movie, Head of State.
Oh yeah.
Where one of the presidential candidate was, and his vice president conveniently died in a car crash, or died in some sort of crash, and he is a very, very important person. I forget what his role. I forget what his role was, but it was
like
definitely
an ambassador or something.
Something like that.
Okay.
Having to do with like he works with the people in the neighborhood. He's not a foreman.
I get what you're getting at.
Anyways. They legitimately, because the president-elect had passed away, they asked him to run for president.
Okay.
Yeah. It was actually
a president that was still on term, the vice president steps in as president. I know what you're talking.
Yeah. No, he wasn't the vice president. The president and his vice president both conveniently died in a crash. So they asked Chris Rock's character, the next, apparently next in line important person, they asked to, and he was just from a little town in New York.
Huh.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fucking funny.
I'm gonna have to give this a watch.
It was funny.
While you were talking about that too, I think I just realized this is very unorthodox of me, but I think I'm actually gonna change my movie pick. I think Popstar is good. It's great, by the way, but I completely neglected to remember what my actual pick was before because I had this planned ahead of time and forgot. But it's actually Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with. And here's why. Because that movie is a dark comedy. It plays like a horror movie, but from the perspective of the killers, if the killers were misunderstood. So basically, these teenagers go out in the woods and scare themselves. They scare themselves shitless with ghost stories. And then these two well-meaning but bumbling and stupid hillbillies. One of them played by Alan Tudyk, by the way, is they are out in the woods. They live out there and they're just doing normal chores and stuff. And these teenagers have convinced themselves that they're in some kind of horror movie and these hillbillies are out to get them and they have to fight back before So what ends up happening is a bunch of misunderstandings. Like one of the hillbillies is cutting a tree open with a chainsaw and he hits a bee nest by accident. So the bees start chasing him. So he's running through the forest from the bees, waving the chainsaw in the air. The kids see him coming at them with the chainsaw and think he's coming for them, so they run away. They run away from him, and what ends up happening in this movie is these stupid teenagers in this misunderstanding causes all of these kids to keep accidentally killing themselves in Final Destination-esque ways. Like there's one scene. There's one scene where one of them comes up behind the hillbilly, like he's gonna get him. He's got like a spear or something. I can't remember what it is, but he's running up behind him, and he goes to tackle him, and dude bends down. He doesn't even know he's behind him. He bends down to pick something up just in time, and the kid goes fucking headfirst into a wood chipper. And it's just shit like that. Like when they see him with the chainsaw and they start running, one of the kids who's running isn't paying attention and ends up running straight into spearing themselves on a tree branch, on a broken tree branch. Shit like that. So it's so violent and stupid. I love it.
That is awesome.
It's like Cocaine Bear levels of dumb, violent comedy horror. So yes, that is, if you've never seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, you must do yourself a huge favor and watch it. One of the best horror comedies ever.
Where is it streaming?
A lot of places. Last time I looked, it was on Netflix.
Okay.
So
if it's not on Netflix, try Hulu. If it's not on Hulu, try Discovery. If it's not Discovery, Peacock. If it's not on Peacock, try Tubi.
Yeah.
Literally, all of those in order. If you can't find it on any of those, go to Amazon.
Yeah, if anything,
just go to Amazon.
If anything, it's probably on one of the free streaming apps like Tubi or Pluto, like he said, the one where it might have occasional ads, but it's on Netflix. From what I can see, it's still on Netflix. Yeah, this is an absolute. It's on Sling TV for free. It's on Amazon Prime Video. It's on Apple TV for as low as $1.99. And it looks like it's on Prime Video. So
okay,
I think you can get it on Netflix and Prime Video. So you got options.
I just want to throw in there. You did mention Jason Bateman earlier. What the fuck is this?
Jason Bateman, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
He was in Horrible Bosses.
In Horrible Bosses. But I also remember another movie, Identity Theft. And now that one.
Oh yes.
That fucking movie
with Melissa McCarthy.
Yes. Oh my. When they're in the car, she's literally singing every single song, pissing him off. That was a great movie. I really like that one too.
She's great. I loved the dynamic I loved her character in Bridesmaids as well.
Yes.
And then the dynamic between Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph in that movie. But that was definitely one of those comedy movies that was trying to push the envelope, and it was saying, look, women can be gross too. Yeah. We can also do slapstick and poop jokes. That was one of the things I was going to cover too. There are different types of comedy. So you've got satire, dry humor, sarcasm, toilet humor, self-deprecation humor, absurdist humor, all that. What's your favorite kind? What makes you laugh the most? What's your top comedy style?
Honestly,
seriously, Yeah, honestly, dark humor and or like hillbilly humor. If I were to say
Like Jeff
anything,
Foxworthy?
Jeff Fox or South Park. Think of like South Park funny.
South Park
Or
is more like social commentary and satire now, though.
yeah, okay, so old South Park. If I were to say anything,
So juvenile toilet humor.
yeah. So I
Yes.
mean, if I had comedians to pick from, and it's just fucking hilarious, is like the people that made me laugh the most were Cat Williams,
Mm.
Gabriel Iglesias,
Mm-hmm.
and Dave Chappelle.
Mm.
Oh, sir, you haven't seen any Robin Williams routines, have you?
So I have not. I have seen his movies. His movies
Oh,
are
you
great.
don't
I have
know
not
what
seen
you're
his
missing.
routines.
He does get raunchy. Do
He
yourself a
is
favor, though.
You
wanna
so
see-
fucking raunchy.
You want to see Robin Williams at his best, some of his best, though. Look up it's on YouTube. Robin Williams on Whose Line Is It Anyway? You'll get some
Oh
of the
yes,
funniest moments ever on there.
but
I'm glad. Yeah,
the two stand up specials that Robin Williams did were Weapons of Self Destruction and Robin Williams on Broadway.
yeah. So Nick, I know you like toilet humor already, but what else?
I'm a sucker for slapstick,
Okay,
like Three Stooges type shit.
yup. Classic 90s comedy stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of Adam Sandler movie and Jim Carrey movies were like that.
Derpy shit gets me to giggle like a derpy person.
Like Peter or Chris level stupid.
Yes.
Yup, I got you. Or Homer at his best.
Yes. Oh man, satirical at times. I have to get the joke.
Fair.
Yeah, if I
Um,
don't get the joke, I'm not laughing. And if you try to explain it to me, then I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, ha, that was funny."
South Park is often South Park fluctuates between being on the nose and like metaphorical. So sometimes it's very obvious what they're making fun of, and other times it's like you have to know the reference.
Yeah,
I've got a dad joke for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K?
What?
HDMI.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one. So I'm glad that Deacon also brought up stand-up comedians, because that was going to be a thing that I wanted to talk about. He already listed his favorites, it seems. I want to say,
Yeah, if I were to give out like my top three, and this is legit my top three, it would be Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, and Gabriel Iglesias in that order.
good choices. I have to go with, I think one of my favorite comedians, like stand-up comedians specifically, is John Mulaney. It's hard to explain. I think he's a mixture of dry and absurdist humor, but it's more about the it's the kind of jokes that you definitely get and can relate to if you're a middle-class white person. You know? It's definitely that kind of, it's definitely like proper nerdy white guy humor. It's, think Weird Al's White and Nerdy song.
Think of Sheldon.
But he's really good at telling stories in his stand up, and one of the most recent ones was about him going to rehab, and he told a story about how he was so desperate for drugs that he tried to sell a watch that he just bought on the same day that he bought it. and he told the pawn shop that it was like handed down from his grandfather. It was like an heirloom and all that. And he's like,
Was this his Baby J
yes,
stand-up special?
yep. And the guy was like,
I
oh,
watched this recently.
the guy was like, oh, this is an old thing. And he's like, yeah. He's like, this receipt says you bought it today, you know? Like, yeah, I love him. He's great. Yeah, John Mulaney is a very specific kind of humor.
Yeah.
But I think he's hilarious. I have to agree with you both that Gabriel Iglesias is definitely up there. For me too.
Yeah.
He's
Top
pretty
tier.
fucking funny.
Because you can smell it.
I want to say, honestly, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson
Okay.
is one of the.
He broke me with one of his jokes
Dude.
during his last stand-up special. Like when he said that his stalker sent him a box of soiled underwear. The dude, I lost my shit.
That was pretty fucking funny. We're talking stand-up comedians specifically here. For the moment, Nick, what are your 3 picks?
So, I've got my top 3 in no specific order.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rife.
Okay.
Matt Rife is
Gabriel-
getting up there.
He's so fun. He's coming to Des Moines in June.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome.
Tickets are sold out. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
damn.
that's not surprising. He sold out the Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah, he did.
Matt Rife, Gabriel Iglesias. And I can't make up my mind for the last one, so I'm just gonna say the blue collar comedy guys.
Fair enough. Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, all them.
Ron White,
Larry the
Bill,
Label the Carry
Bill,
guy.
Bill Engvall, yeah, they're so fucking funny.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the way I just said that?
Yes.
Eater dip.
I said, okay,
It sounded like you said Gary the Ladle Guy or something like that. Like he's the guy who serves you gravy.
Gravy, yes.
I actually got to go see Larry the Cable Guy live at the NIU Convocation Center in 2007.
Nice.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
that was 6.
You know, a stand-up comedian that I did like when I was younger, and I'm ashamed of this now, but I can't stand now, completely outgrew him and his sense of humor. My sense of humor changed, too, so I no longer find him funny. Dane Cook. Just awful.
Yeah.
What an awful comedian. Also, I used to like... I feel like I've also outgrown Daniel Tosh, if I'm being honest. Now that I think about it, like that Tosh.0 was fun for a while, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. And
I was about to say, yeah, that Tosh.0 was like okay, and then ridiculousness just came back. So
it
I
was
like, yeah.
it was half Ray William Johnson equals 3 and half Jackass. Like
Yeah.
like, it basically is what it was. So, but on that note, though, let's talk our favorite comedy TV shows. Get those out the way real
Dude.
quick.
Has Been Hotel.
That's your top one, number 1.
Yes.
I have to agree with that. It's either Has Been Hotel or well, it's not technically a TV show, but it's about to be because Prime is literally just announced it. But Hell of a Boss.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, I will
Hell of a
count-
Boss, I think a little bit more for me, just because of how much more dark it is, how much fucked up it is.
It still counts to me. Just because it's on YouTube doesn't make it not a show. It's still
That's also
Exactly.
episodic. I mean, that's where Final Space by Olin Rogers got its start before it hit TBS was YouTube.
Oh wait, Lucifer is technically comedy, isn't it?
Lucifer.
Yeah,
Yes.
then
the Fox
probably
show?
Lucifer.
Lucifer was so funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shameless.
that would be my top. That would actually
Shameless.
be my top. Would be Lucifer.
Shameless on Showtime. was pretty funny. Had a lot of serious moments too.
So, I know the objectively correct answer is Futurama, but I'm gonna say South Park. And the reason for that is I greatly respect the fact that this show has gotten away with as much as it has throughout all this time, that it has a solidified place in media history where no matter how much comedy changes over time, this show can continue to get away with murder no matter what. And I also like, though, how this show started off as basically just the most vulgar, shock value, juvenile humor thing you could possibly think of, and slowly evolved into a satirical funhouse reflection of reality. Like funhouse mirror reflection of reality. The show slowly but surely started getting more and more into social commentary, started holding a mirror up to its audience and said, look, this is you. This is what you look like to our writers when you do this shit. You know? And that is the most ballsy shit ever, and I love it. I love them for it. And I also love how they don't really seem to be... It's not like they're not doing the jokes that they do to quote unquote own the libs or, you know, be anti-woke or whatever. They go after everyone equally.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They
No
literally
one's safe.
spent an entire season making fun of Trump. So it is...
They're about to do it again, I'm sure.
It is not. No, they're going to avoid that this time, but they are going to make fun of P. Diddy and plane crashes and Elon Musk. So,
Oh yeah, Elon Musk is definitely gonna be up there.
indirectly making fun of Donald Trump.
Yes. Well, it's
I mean, if you
the
make fun
line...
of Elon Musk, you're technically making fun of Donald Trump now because you know all over they're the fucking pair.
It's the trailer for the latest season where at the end, Randy is going to leave and he's like. Sharon's like, where are you going, Randy? And he's like, oh, nothing, Sharon. I'm just going to do a little ketamine and then mess with the government for a while. So...
I am so excited for this season of South Park.
I think they just continue to get smarter and smarter, quite frankly. Is it smug in a way? Yes. Like it is definitely, but they've earned it. They've earned that smugness. They've earned the right. They have earned the right to mock us. And quite frankly, for the most part, they don't ever mock anyone who doesn't really deserve it. And when you think about it, South Park actually has some of the most quote-unquote woke shit ever in it. Two of the main characters are disabled, and they're not made fun of for it. They're held to the same regard as everyone else, you know? Two of the main character, Craig and Tweak, are canonically a couple now because of Yowie fan art. You know?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, literally, that's the reason. And they did a whole special on making fun of Logan Paul and his Prime energy drink shit.
Oh, I loved the shit out of that.
And they did like a whole special on making fun of Ozempic, and they did some great social commentary on how the healthcare system is so hard to navigate and how insurance companies take advantage of people who actually need the help, and how people who actually need this medicine for valid reasons can never get it because people who are just following a trend are taking it instead. Like, South Park, the reason I think it's my all-time favorite comedy show is because it's one of the few where every episode is a message. Every episode is preaching something at you in some kind of way, and every episode can be sat there and dissected and discussed philosophically for hours because of what they're saying in it. My all-time favorite episode they did recently, by the way, was the Put It Down episode where they made fun of fidget spinners, and Tweak was freaking out because President Garrison kept tweeting at China, calling them pussies and daring them to nuke us, and distracted drivers were reading the president's tweets and running over children in the episode. And then the whole episode ended with a musical number telling Trump to put his fucking phone down and stay off Twitter. So it was one of the best South Park episodes ever, quite frankly. Like top 10 for sure. It might even be my personal number one South Park episode of all time. And that's including the band episodes 201 and or 200 and 201 and the Cartoon Wars parts 1 and 2, where they made fun of Family Guy. You think that's bad? Remember that one time I went to the beach with Muhammad? Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say I have an overall favorite comedy show. I have
You just said
ones
Lucifer.
that I can always. Well, okay, all right, yes, that is my number one show because I love Lucifer. I love the comedy drama that it was and everything. But there is also like other few shows that I pop back and forth. You know, like Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory is a pretty good one that a lot of people go back and forth to. There's
I used to like that, but I fell off around the end, and after a while I realized, wait a minute, this isn't as funny without the laugh track. I feel like I'm being told when it's supposed to be funny instead of it just being funny naturally.
Now, I agree with that. I'm talking like the early seasons. The early seasons are actually pretty good and everything. Now, now another one is there was always the one I loved was Duck Dynasty. Duck Dynasty.
Is that supposed to be funny?
That's not comedy.
I mean,
that is hilarious to me. That is a comedy to me. I am sorry that I am what you may call hillbilly trash, but that shit was funny over half the time.
Your words, not mine.
Uncle Si was fucking hilarious, dude.
He said,
like, I loved going back and forth with that. The ranch is another one.
All I can think of now is that South Park episode where Cartman gets into a mud wrestling match with Honey Boo Boo, and the whole episode is talking about how our standards have lowered so far that we allow shit like Honey Boo Boo on TV. Like they said, the bar. So they hire none other than majestic movie director James Cameron to find the bar at the bottom of the sea and raise it up again. And as soon as James Cameron raises the bar, both literally and metaphorically, everyone suddenly comes to their senses and realizes this is wrong. Why are we watching this shit? I love it.
All right, look. Whenever I watch Duck Dynasty, the shit that they did always made me laugh. All right, that's why I consider it comedy. Those are yes, you are correct. Those are my words, not anyone else. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there. It was just like there's a lot of different comedy shows out there that prefer to other people's tastes. I mean, The Ranch is another one that is another
The Ranch
comedy
is hilarious.
Another comedy drama. Because I'm sorry, but as soon as they killed off, which I was pissed the fuck off that they tried to replace him with.
I haven't gotten that far.
You haven't. What do you know how long that show has been done?
No, I don't.
It's been done for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm a little behind.
God. All right, I'm not gonna say anymore. But there you go. You'll find out. You know what? I'll just leave it at this. You'll find out when you see the person. All right, you will find out why.
I think it was Dalton that once said something I thought was kind of funny and stuck with me. He said, because I was talking about
being green.
Yeah, well that. I was talking
green.
about. I was talking about one of my favorite, or I was talking to him about, some of our favorite comedy shows, and he said there's a Venn diagram between these 4 shows. He said, Futurama is a show about smart people meant for smart people. Family Guy is a show about stupid people meant for stupid people. The Big Bang Theory is a show about smart people meant for stupid people. And Sunny in Philadelphia... Yep. Sunny in Philadelphia is a show about stupid people meant for smart people.
I've watched all 4 of those shows. I can agree to all.
I can agree.
I agree to all of that.
I agree with this sentence.
Yes, because Sunny in Philadelphia.
And I watch Family Guy the most.
Sunny in Philadelphia is definitely a top-tier show for me because it mocks the kind of people I can't stand. And what I find hilarious about it is that the show was introduced to me by people who thought that it was glorifying their behavior, not realizing the whole time the show was actually making fun of them. And that is somehow poetic to me, and I'm so
Yeah,
glad
I
that
could tell that Sunny in Philadelphia is making fun of me. I know that for a fact.
you didn't introduce me to that show, but it's funny though, because it is like, because they are all shitty people in that show, they never actually get what they never succeed. They always just get their comeuppance, they always fail spectacularly in some kind of way,
Oh, yeah.
then move on to another scheme the next time.
The abortion
Exactly.
episode.
Yes.
Oh no! Don't even remind me.
One of my favorites is the episode where Charlie gets left behind in the bar when they go to the Eagles game, and he home alones himself in the bar.
Was it the pilot episode where they found the Nazi uniform?
No, that was a while ago, because Frank was involved in that, and Frank didn't show up
Oh
till
yeah, he
season 2.
was. That's
Yeah,
right.
Frank doesn't show up till season 2.
That
And-
that
yeah.
episode though.
All of these cast members, by the way, have gone on to do other things, and they're all great. I like all of them.
The guy that plays Rickety Cricket and Mac, they went on to do a show on Apple TV Plus called Mystic Quest.
Yep. And the guy who plays Mac, Rob McElhenney, also owns that soccer team with Ryan Reynolds.
Okay,
Wrexham, the
nice,
the Wrexham thing that they do together.
nice.
Yeah, it's great. So this isn't as common, but and obviously, I guess since we are on TV shows, we have to give a shout out to Family Guy, because that's probably where most of this started for us. And also,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Family
Pretty much,
Guy
yeah.
has basically examples of every kind of comedy. In the early seasons, Brian was more of a dry, sarcastic humor. Now he's more like political humor, but in the early seasons, he was more like the the counterpoint to Peter's stupidity is
yeah,
kind of what he was in the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
A perfect
I mean, you can
example.
also Stewie.
Yeah.
You can put up Stewie for example too, because at first all of his comedy references and whatnot were dark, twisted, and kind of, and everything, and now it's more on the outlandish, schemish side. I mean,
Well,
Stewie
now
is-
he's just gay. Like, that's his thing.
okay, I was trying not to say that just because I don't want to
No, it's-
offend anybody. I don't care.
No, it's
but
no, you can.
But
say,
yeah, now he's.
yeah.
Yeah, but now he went from being dark and twisted. Now Stewie is just outright gay, and I'm not gonna lie. I just watched those episodes where I saw the fucking transition. I was just like, this is funny as hell because
Yeah.
now I
About
understand it more.
character
Now,
development, right?
exact. Well, I mean, character
Yeah.
development, and now being
Well,
older, now
it
that
is-
the person I am, I understand more.
It is character development, but it's also, and we've talked about this before, it's also something called flanderizing, where they take one particular trait of a character and start leaning more heavily into that until it consumes them as a character. So it was
Makes sense,
like,
yeah.
like in the beginning, in the early seasons of Family Guy, the characters they had traits of their current behaviors, but they weren't as heavy on them. And lately they've gone, leaned more heavily into that. Peter is now more stupid and misogynistic than he was before. Stewie is now more gay than he was before. Brian is now more of a political douchebag than he was before. Chris is now more of a weird creep than he was before. Meg has gone from being the family punching bag to a straight up serial killer. So yeah, although you probably could have seen that coming after the way the family treated her. That is character development right there. It's just happening in the background. It's just happening in the background with throwaway jokes. But Meg has definitely killed people. Like, canonically, Meg has killed a lot of people. There's a whole episode where she has an ankle bracelet on and she has to stay close to everyone, and they're like, Meg, where's your buddy? And it's like, they never tell you what happened to lead to it. And the end of the episode, she's cut her own foot off and she's running through the woods being chased by a helicopter. And they never give you any context for it whatsoever. They just do.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's gotten dark, but it's called flanderizing because it's based on how Flanders from The Simpsons just became more Oakley dokley over the years. He wasn't as goobly doobly in the beginning as he is now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They just went heavier on that as it went. So that's, same for Homer being a dumbass and shit like that. So yeah, it's called Flanderizing, more so than it is character development. But
Fair enough.
in Stewie's case, though, it's it is used for a lot of throwaway jokes. And his like on again, off again attraction to Brian. Also, in recent seasons, Chris can apparently now understand Stewie. So Chris goes. Chris goes on a lot of adventures with Stewie and Brian now.
That
They like to
That's
switch up the
fantastic.
dynamics. They like to switch up the dynamics, and I appreciate that. But anyways, while we still have time, real quick, comedy video game. Can you think of any video games that are just outright funny? We mentioned
Deadpool.
Borderlands earlier, so
The Deadpool game.
yep. The Nolan North voiced Deadpool game, absolutely. Deadpool is always funny.
The Plucky Squire had some pretty, like, tongue-in-cheek one-liners in there too.
It did. The Outer Worlds, I think I like that one because it's a very smart type of comedy where it is making fun of capitalism with satire and dark humor. So I really enjoy it for that because it is some of the most fucked up stuff. If you've seen that episode of Secret Level based on the Outer Worlds, then you know it.
Goat Simulator and Goat Simulator 3.
Yeah, those are definitely comedy games. Deacon, we've played a lot of comedy games over the year. I know you have input on this.
I mean, lately I haven't been really playing any comedy games. It's more like a comedic game of itself. I mean, Schedule 1. Technically, if you're looking into it like that, it's because it's not really how all this shit is made, but it's all fake and whatnot, so it's kind of comedic. I mean, I like playing games that you have to make it funny, like Repo. I've been playing a lot of Repo with my friends lately. And I mean, half the time I'm literally pushing the cart around and I just smack someone off the edge and I throw them down into the fucking abyss.
Where it's funny. It's funny because of what happens in it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, and I mean that's the kind of like comedy I like. It's like playing with your friends in a game that you're all playing together and whatnot, but you fuck with people. I mean, GTA 5, for example. I mean, it's been out for fucking years and years and everything, but people still find ways to make the shit funny. I mean, that's just, what I'm saying.
Fair enough. Do you have any, are there any games where the game itself is funny, though, that you like Borderlands or, well, I mean, you said you were looking forward to Borderlands 4.
Oh, yeah, I am, of course, everyone's looking forward to that, of course.
I guess you could argue that some parts of GTA 5 are funny. That game definitely doesn't take itself too seriously.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trevor.
Saints Row the Third.
Saints Row the Third. Oh, yeah. You know what? This is a game about a TV show. I mean, South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, and Stick of Truth.
I mean, the Stick of Truth, too. Yeah, I mean, those are both another.
They did things
those
in those
fun.
games that they could never get away with on the show itself.
Do you know how much money I would pay to get to see a copy of South Park: The Stick of Truth before they had to that game got pushed back so many times because of the FCC.
Oh yeah,
I would pay so much money.
Here's the thing, though. No, you got the definitive version. It was other countries where certain scenes, like the probing scene on the spaceship, got censored.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I thought it was the FCC.
No, here in the U.S., we got the completely uncensored version of that game. Like,
fair enough. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good
for the
deal.
most part. They may have had to cut back some things to get past the MSRB because they wanted the game to be rated M, not adults only. So
Right, yeah,
that
fair.
could be part
that
of
makes
it.
sense.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh, did any of you guys ever play Family Guy
Multiverse of
Multi-universe?
Madness.
Yes, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
Was that
I either played
on
through all of that in
PSP?
co-op. It was on, well, no, PSP,
Xbox.
I think.
It was on Xbox. It was on PlayStation. It was a console game. I remember
It was
that.
on PS3. Nick, I think you're thinking of the official Family Guy video game. Multiverse of Madness was a game that was a direct sequel to their Road to the Multiverse episode. It had Brian and Stewie going through a multiverse again, and it was like a 3D platformer, third-person shooter game.
I
Yeah.
don't. I
You get to
think
play
I
as Stewie
did.
or Brian.
Yeah.
I think I did, but briefly. I
It had
don't
two-player
remember
co-op.
much of it. I
I
don't
played
remember
through-
much of it.
I played through all of it with either Deacon or Dalton. I can't remember who, and we got every trophy in the game, and then there was one last trophy we were trying to get that was really hard, and we eventually gave up on it. We were like, fuck this shit. It was just like, I'll forever sit at that one being incomplete, missing one trophy, just like God of War 2, because I can't do the challenge levels. But yeah, actually, same thing for one of the Ratchet and Clank games. Could just never do that fucking Captain Quark minigame. Even with 2 people, it was too hard. So yeah. Oh, Ratchet and Clank is funny, I think.
Yeah, it
technically.
is.
It's supposed to be. Yeah. There's some comedy in there. There's also Insomniac does that. Spyro the Dragon has comedy. Crash Bandicoot has comedy. It's mostly slapstick. Crash Bandicoot is slapstick comedy.
Devil May Cry.
Is that it's not meant to be funny though. It just has
It's not
funny
meant to be,
moments.
but there is a few jokes thrown in there.
Oh, that's true. That's definitely true. What is
the abridged series of any anime that you can find on YouTube.
yeah. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Pokemon abridged, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wait, there's a
abridged.
thing. I gotta watch that.
Wait, is it? No, I don't think it is. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
Abridged is a thing though.
I think it could be argued, even though it's not a comedy game, it's definitely more like horror-ish, or I guess thriller-ish, but it could be argued that the main villain of Danganronpa, Monokuma, is meant to be comedic. He's like a Looney Tunes character. Very dark comedy-esque, though.
This is a comedic
see.
game in and of itself. You know, the Star Wars, The Force Awakens Lego. You know, that is a funny. That is a funny right there. Just
Lego-
that game in general.
Lego games are kind of funny. Yes, they are.
They're
because
kind of.
very,
I'm just saying that title. I don't like the Star Wars movie. I don't like the 7, 8, 9 of the movies in Star Wars. I'm just saying that.
Backtracking to movies for just a brief second here, Justin.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
You recently watched a dark comedy / horror film that I saw in theater.
Oh yeah,
I
I
want to hear your
almost
thoughts.
I almost forgot about that. So I did recently watch Death of a Unicorn. It Nick already gave it a full review in a previous episode, so I won't get too much into it, but it does have Paul Rudd in it, and he's always great. He's a great guy. Like, just a great person in general, but also one of my favorite comedy actors. And Jenna Ortega. But it's an A24 dark horror movie about them on their way to a business meeting with these rich people running over and accidentally killing a unicorn, and then the rich people that they're meeting with trying to exploit that for financial gain by using what's left of said unicorn to create medicines and stuff that only other rich people can afford. And this ends up leading to the parents of said unicorn coming in and slaughtering a bunch of people out of revenge. It is, like, Nick definitely undersold it in his review because I was expecting more of a more subdued experience, and it ended up just straight up being a slasher with unicorns. And that is not what I was expecting. They almost hit the double digits in kills in this movie. It's going to make a great kill count on Dead Meat. And it's funny because of the ridiculous premise. You know, and there were some great moments that made me laugh. Will Poulter's douchebag rich boy character in particular has some of the funniest lines in the movie.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he's great. Paul Rudd's character too. Like, I love the juxtaposition between Paul Rudd's like everyday white guy, you know, typical dad archetype next to the fucking like old rich guy that's hunted and killed lions and elephants. And when they're getting ready to go hunt the unicorns, and he's talking like a fucking British guy with a mustache. He's like, you know, he's like, "Oh, do you feel that, Elliot? The thrill of the hunt," and stuff like that. He's like, they say the difference between man and beast is who survives the longest, and all this like pseudo philosophical, pretentious, rich people shit that, you know, that he says, and then, and Paul Rudd's reaction is just like he just like, yeah, Yep. Yeah. Like, I fucking love Paul Rudd. He's just like so like, I don't understand a thing you're talking about, but I agree. This is the juxtaposition between those two archetypes, like right next to each other. That shit had me rolling. It's just,
it was fantastic.
It's not not what Paul Rudd's doing so much as what he's not doing that makes it funny. You know? And that's what I love about him. So, yeah, that was fucking great. That movie, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 myself, quite frankly.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable, and it had a really good message too. You know, fuck those people who hunt and kill like lions and rhinos and elephants. You know,
right?
It's yeah. And they're proud of it too. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that.
So yeah, I like the message in the movie too, and I like that the people several people got exactly what they deserved here.
Yes, they did.
Some people, I did feel bad for some people who died. Some of them did not deserve what they got, but some of them did. So yes, yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. Real quick, just to wrap up the topic, we talked about all that stuff. Is there any other comedy-related thing that you guys want to throw out here in the last couple minutes of the topic? Comedy, any of funny podcasts or YouTubers or anything that's not like big media related, or any funny artists here too. I'm not going to go heavy on the Lonely Island because we talked about them so much in the SNL episodes. So,
Let's see.
But there's others like Weird Al, for example.
Funny thing. Let's see. I saw a funny bumper sticker the other day. You know,
I saw one the other day that said, go ahead.
Oh, it said if you are too close to this bumper, you ate a bowl of stupid and you need to drive right. That's exactly what it said.
The one that I saw said "back off, bumper humper."
I guess I was kind of more looking for like, the Game Grumps are hilarious. Like, I've been watching them play through Danganronpa V3 and Sonic Adventure 2 lately, and I fucking love them.
Fucking Ego Raptor.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if you would call it funny if you don't really watch or if you like watching people hurt other people. But I did just recently watch Smosh Games do another Guess Who Slapped Me one, and I think it was it was one of the main guys. One of the guys that's been there the longest, or the starter, or the producer, or whatever. Anyways, someone came up and smacked him, like actually smacked him hard as shit. And she looked at him just like all like postured up, and it looked like, she was pissed off. But at the same time, she mouthed sorry. And I was just like, why do you look pissed off, but you slapped the shit out the man? But it was just funny because everyone in the background's like, oh my God.
So I'll quick fire real quick. 3 podcasts that are funny. Obviously, Distractable, the podcast with Markiplier and Bob and Wade, where they just shoot the shit about random nonsense, and they basically do a whose line is it anyway, where the points don't matter, but they kind of do. And and Bad Movies Rule, a podcast where a bunch of blue collar dudes get together and talk about movies that got really bad reviews, like low scores, and discuss whether or not they think they're actually bad, and make jokes about them and stuff. And they're kind of like CinemaSins if CinemaSins was actually like criticizing the movies and not just like making jokes to rile up fanboys, you know?
There.
And CinemaSins is hilarious, though, because to me, they say they're not satire, but I can't see them as anything else but satire. They're making fun of nitpicking by nitpicking. Like, how is that not satire? You know? So, if it's tongue-in-cheek, then it's fucking satire, man.
Exactly.
And otherwise, if it's not satire, then you're just bitching. Like, it's, you know, at that point, then it is nitpicking. And then the other one is Your Stupid Opinions, where a couple of funny New York Italian guys find people's reviews for things on the internet and make fun of them. So it's great. The reviews they read, some people, like stupid teenagers calling the Grand Canyon mid, or people complaining that there's no Wi-Fi at the Great Wall of China.
There is a YouTube channel that, Justin, that you and I, at one point, I think we did it in a weekend, maybe a weekend and a little bit into Monday.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Ray William Johnson's equals 3.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. That doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't exist anymore. But I have been seeing that man on TikTok a lot lately, and he's not doing like equals 3 type stuff. He's doing true crime videos.
Well, you know what? I mean, he did after equals 3. He moved on to that band, Your Favorite Martian, and they were around for a while, and then they dropped off. When they're a comedy band, but then he picked them back up again recently, like over the past couple of years, and they've been putting out new songs over the past couple of years, and some pretty good ones too, actually.
Yeah.
They even actually did a sequel to Orphan Tears, and then a third one, and made it a whole trilogy. Like,
I remember that
storyline. That's how they came back.
He's been doing a lot of true crime videos over on TikTok.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that was just if I was gonna see if there was any other. What I thought Nick was gonna say on YouTube was Pitch Meeting by Ryan George is kind of a CinemaSins-esque thing, but it's this guy where he basically plays two characters, the guy with the script and the producer, and the guy with the script brings a movie idea to the producer, and then he pitches whatever movie they're making fun of, and they just kind of go back and forth, him talking to himself about the whole plot of the movie and making fun of the stupid parts of it. The
one thing about his videos that cracked me up the most, in each and every one of them, he finds some way to fit in barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of one-liners that he throws into every video, like something is tight, or wow, or super easy, barely an inconvenience, because it'll be like when the scriptwriter will say, and then the characters get into this harrowing situation, and then the producer will be like, ooh, it's going to be tough to get out of that. And he'll be like, nah, super easy, barely an inconvenience. A magical MacGuffin or a Deus Ex Machina will show up and save him, that kind of thing. It'll be that kind of thing. It's very, very mocking. Like, it's like CinemaSins, but way heavier on the sarcasm. Like, the way he does the voice, he's clearly mocking the movie. Like, there's no joke there. Like, you can hear the sarcasm in his voice.
He was ruthless to Mufasa.
Yeah. And yeah, one of the best examples of this is why I find him so funny. He did Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and the part where C-3PO and R2-D2 take the pod down to Tatooine. the producer says to the script guy, he's like, why did the stormtroopers not fire on that pod? And the script guy says, so the movie can happen. So yeah. So yes, because the plot needed it. Yeah, so I love that's why I like it, because it's that kind of sarcasm. He also has his own standalone channel just called Ryan George, where he does a bunch of sarcastic videos like that about the first guy to ever, do things, like the first guy to ever dance, the first guy to ever go camping, like he just imagines what it would be like when people invented this shit for the first time and how stupid it must have been to the people around them, when they first discovered it. And he definitely...
Wait a minute.
He mocks it heavy, like he makes camping sound terrible. Just because of the mockery. He also has a series where they come up with names. It's like a whole boardroom of different hymns, coming up with names for things for the first time. It's pretty fucking funny. So yeah. Stuff like that. All right, then. With
One
that
last
being...
thing.
Oh, yep, go ahead.
Cats.
Oh, just cats in general, like cat
Cats
videos.
in general, yes. Videos, yes.
Yeah, cats are fucking funny, aren't they? They are hilarious.
Yes.
I have 2 of them. Yeah, they're fucking hilarious. They're not.
For Nibbler, every fucking night she's up on that cat tree, and she is like batting at her own tail. It's hilarious.
That must be nice. I got 2 fucking boys who don't know how to shut the hell up and or don't know how to stop fucking with each other.
Fair enough.
One's old and he just wants to lay down and sleep all day. The other one's young and wants to play. So guess what happens? The young one chases the old one. The old one pissed the fuck off, and I gotta hear about it at night. I'm the parent that has to try to sleep, and these motherfuckers like, yeah. I'm like, shut.
Hey, I've got a bit of that going on over here too, honestly. But
same here.
All right, then. With all that being said, so that'll be the end of the topic for this episode. For those of you who only stick around for the topic, this is your time to leave. But if you'd like to stick around, as we're about to transition into the media corner, where we will do our reviews and recommendations for different media that we've been consuming lately. So if you'd like to hear that, then stick around, and if not, then we'll see you in the next episode.
And I'll have better mic audio.
Let's mosey on over.
Yes.
I work better with music.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
All right, everybody, here we are at the Media Corner, the part of the show reserved for news, reviews, recommendations, and sometimes previews. And in this episode, all 3 of us have a review, actually, I think it is. So, Nick, you'll go first.
Yes, I recently went to the theater and saw a movie that I have been waiting for a very long time. This movie is Until Dawn. I am a very, very, very big fan of the game. I had a physical copy of the original game, the original release on the PS4, and I have a physical copy of the remaster for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's no way to adapt this game into a movie. However, Sarah did make a really good point, and they said and said they could have adapted it into a TV show like they did with The Last of Us, and expanded on each of those choices in different episodes. That would be the logical sense, right?
Okay.
No,
yeah.
they decided to go the movie route and have elements of the game in the movie. Now, I will say I'm gonna this is gonna get a higher rating than it should, simply because there are Easter eggs for people that have played the game in the movie, and found each and every fucking one of them, and because of how they were strategically placed, I have a feeling that this movie it takes place in the same universe as the game, but
That
in
would
a
make
different
sense.
in a different location. I have a feeling that this, because Dr. Hill is played by the guy that the therapist in, or Dr. Hill in the game.
Peter Stormare.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what, but this feels like it is either a sequel to the game or a prequel to the game, with how the Easter eggs were strategically placed.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh man,
I'm
there
actually
were
more interested now.
so many jump scares. Obviously,
Of course
we
it
had the
was.
Wendigos. Those
Ooh.
were, oh my god.
You gotta love the
Um,
Wendigos.
Oh my
You gotta
god.
be careful. I feel
There was-
horror movies that rely too much on jump scares
No,
are
no.
doing that to hide their faults
No,
somewhere.
Yeah.
these jump scares were jump scares like you got when you were playing the game.
Okay, fair. I mean, but that works better in a game context. In movies, it's usually just lazy. Movies, I
to
prefer
give you an-
psychological horror.
There was one jump scare, I
Yeah.
shit you not. I shit you not. It was a double whammy. Like, it was one, like, a smaller jump scare, and then a bigger jump scare immediately after that. It was, like, one after the other. And it was a rush. It was fucking awesome.
So it wanted you to piss yourself, then shit yourself.
It
Gotcha.
it was fucking awesome. It was
Okay.
awesome. It was awesome.
I know you enjoy a good jump
Oh
scare.
my
so-
god, yes. Oh yes. I
mean,
sure do. I don't
good
like
jump scares always.
I don't like cheap jump scares. None of these were cheap jump scares by any means.
Okay.
The way these jump scares were done, like, oh, there was so many. That one that I told you guys about was the one that stood out the most. I have a hard time remembering any of the others. But by God, dude, there were so many jump scares. But-
I do like the premise of this movie though, because
Yeah.
is the
So-
premise? You tell us what the basic setup is here.
Yeah, so you got a group of friends completely different from the cast from the game. A group of friends helping their one friend find her missing sister. Clover is the girl whose sister had gone missing. They go to this gas station, and the gas station attendant is Dr. Hill.
Or the same actor, yeah.
Same actor, yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
there is something. I haven't had anything spoiled for me, but I do understand that he is technically the movie's antagonist. There's something sinister about him.
Oh, yes, there is. And I am not going to say shit about it because that is spoilery.
So the basic, from what I understand, the basic premise of the movie, though, like the selling point here, is that the house that they're in, they keep getting killed, and every time they die, the clock resets, and they come back to life and get hunted down by a different type of monster. in the next day.
In the there's a what kicks off the time loop is there's the house that they end up at. There's it's like an Airbnb kind of thing, and there's a sign-in book. I think it was, I don't remember who it was. It was one of the girls. They signed it. That's what started it.
Okay.
You signed this piece of paper, so now you started all this bullshit. You gotta deal with it now.
Well, you know what that sounds like to me, though? It sounds like
that?
when the teenagers in Cabin in the Woods unknowingly chose their own fate by the item they picked up in the basement.
I've been listening to different podcasts that have reviewed this. And I even got listen to one that the two hosts have never played the game, so when they go to play the game, they're not gonna like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have known about the Easter eggs.
I'm guessing one of these podcasts made a Cabin in the Woods comparison.
No.
Oh,
Happy Death Day.
I thought
Happy Death Day comparison.
Yeah, that is a time loop thing too. For me, though, just based on the fact that every time they come back to life, they're faced by a different type of monster.
Yes.
And excuse me, I listened to Dead Meat interview the directors and writer of this movie, and they talked about how they were, what part of their thing was they wanted to play around with different horror genres a bit in the same way that Supermassive does with each of their games being a different horror genre. And so I honestly think the premise is great. I think this movie would have been more successful if it wasn't called Until Dawn. If they called it something else, like maybe say Cabin in the Woods 2.
So because I'll explain. No, Until Dawn makes complete sense specifically because of how strategically these Easter eggs are placed.
Okay, fair enough. I will have to watch the movie and figure that part out for myself then, because
I'm not saying shit.
As being someone that's played the game, now hearing that, I want to see what you're talking about. Like, I want to see if maybe you're saying that the totems are something that are in there or have been there's these
no
guys
totems.
placed the totems. There's no totems? See, I want to know how the totems got there, dude.
There's no totems.
No, I think I get where he's he's going with this.
It takes place in the same universe as the game, but in a completely separate location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I understand. Kind of like The Quarry.
Yeah, dude, it's such a good movie. I am going to be a little biased here. I'm gonna end up buying a physical copy, if not a steelbook copy of this movie. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that because I've seen much lower scores than that running around.
No, this is a 10 for 10 for 10 for me. This
IGN gave it a 5.
I said extremely unpopular opinion. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but it's all subjective. You're entitled to it. I have to see it for myself though, because I'm not gonna lie, you do have me interested, and I'm a big like lore and connected universes type person. Anytime I watch an MCU movie, I spend half of my watch time looking for Easter eggs to other movies. You know what I mean? Like connections and shit. So
I think tomorrow I'm going to, on my lunch break, I'm gonna watch that kill count for the Danganronpa game.
Yep.
And I'm going to cash in, and I want you to go see Until Dawn this week.
Well, I do get paid on Wednesday, so...
Yeah, Until Dawn.
It's on my list.
I need
I
someone
wanna
to
see
talk
that.
to about this.
I want to see that and Thunderbolts. I've heard really, really, really good things about Thunderbolts. Everyone is raving, saying it's so good.
I have
So,
two. I
Um,
need someone to talk to about this. I am dying to talk to someone about this.
So I may do a double feature, and then maybe Thunderbolts is my next media corner in the next episode.
Oh,
Hey.
I would.
I guess
I
we'll
need
see.
to. I need to.
Oh.
I
Okay,
need to watch
so a
Thunderbolts.
10 out of 10 for you. Now, are you
Yes.
rating that? Are you? Is that rating? I have to ask. Is that rating coming from comparing it to the game, or are you rating it individually as a standalone horror movie on its own?
Individual standalone horror movie,
Okay.
but also a potential prequel or sequel to the game.
I'm going to give it to you because, quite frankly, I think people are unfairly judging this movie based on the fact that it's not a shot-for-shot remake of the game.
No.
And I don't
I-
think it needs to be.
No, this is the game is. I because it's my all-time favorite game. There's a reason I ended up getting a physical copy of the remaster because I thoroughly enjoyed the PS4 release. This, like I said, I'm going to end up getting a physical copy of this movie.
Right.
Dude, it's that fucking dude. This was fucking cinema. If this needs to be in the category for horror movie of the year in next year's horror awards. I know
Okay.
it probably won't, but one can hope.
We'll see. At the very least, it'll probably be in the running for best kill of the year. I'm sure. It
Oh
has a
yeah,
lot of
I'm
them.
sure, dude. And a lot of the kills, so graphic, so gruesome, so much gore.
So to keep things in the in the same vein, I am actually going to switch things around a little bit and squeeze in mine right now because it's going to be very short. I don't have a whole lot to say about this game, but I've been doing a Let's Play of a psychological horror game called Karma: The Dark World on YouTube, and I'm almost done with it. I've got like maybe less than an hour left, so I can give a full review of it now. It is basically an alternate history game where we lost one of the wars, and it's basically they looked at George Orwell's 1984 and said what if, and made that into a game. It's
Okay.
very much a dystopian past where everything is run by this evil corporation called the Leviathan Corps. There are people that have televisions for heads running around. There's a lot of conspiracy stuff, drugs that make you obedient, that kind of thing. And basically, you play this guy named Daniel who works for this company called the Thought Bureau, and you're investigating a crime that happened in a hotel, and you have to basically the suspects, you go into their minds and relive their memories to see what led up to this happening. But you might be wondering where the horror part comes in. Well, one of the people whose minds you go into spent a good portion of time being chased around by this four-armed monster that desperately wanted a cassette tape from him. It is very linear, almost walking simulator-ish. Yes, you can die because there are monster encounters, but they are heavily scripted. It's not like Soma or Outlast where you have to crouch and start sneaking around things. There are a couple of stealth moments, but they are extremely scripted stealth moments, like linear, and it's all pretty much impossible to get caught in them. And there is one moment that that is something akin to a boss battle where this manifestation of the main character's mother from one of his memories shows up as a creepy lady with a knife, and you have a camera at this point in the game. But the thing is, the mechanic here is that she only shows up, she can only hurt you when you have the camera out. If you put the camera away, she can't hurt you. And this whole place is flooded at the time, so you have to basically watch her footsteps in the water and follow her around until she stops at one of the TVs and stares at it. Then you have to get behind her, pull your camera out, and take a picture of the eyeball on her back. You gotta do this 3 times. But the third time, the room starts filling with water real quick, and you have to pull the camera out to get the water to descend. Because whenever you have the camera out, you see a different world than the one that you're actually in. So it's like a interesting mechanic they throw at you halfway through the game. But the story, it's intentionally jarring and confusing because they want the player to feel confused and disoriented as much psychological horror does. It's one of those games where you're going to have so many questions and be so confused until you get to the big plot twist at the end and they reveal everything at you at once in this like 15-minute long exposition dump cutscene. And there's a lot of conspiracy stuff having to do with the main character's family and all that. And it's great, though. It's great. It's a very hold-your-hand kind of horror game. There are, like I said, minor enemy encounters and very, very easy puzzles. Mostly scripted enemy encounters where you're just running through a narrow hallway while they chase you, and occasionally a door will break, so you have to, like, run the other way, that kind of thing. Typical Layers of Fear-esque, you turn around and the room is different type shit, and then some very on-the-nose commentary about, like, capitalism and evil corporations and stuff. There's literally a part where you are sitting there stamping a bunch of documents while watching this obedience training video on the screen in front of you, and every time you start freaking out, you have to drink your happy juice to stay nice and be a nice obedient worker. And so there's stuff like that in there, but there's a lot of great plot twists. The story gets really good. It's confusing in the beginning, especially because you wake up in a hospital bed not knowing who you are or what you're doing, and you go into this room full of clones of yourself growing out of the soil, and then a guy who looks like an older version of you ties you to a chair, puts headphones on you, and throws you in the water, and then all of a sudden you transition into the real main character of the game, Daniel, as he works for the Thought Bureau and goes into the memories of these suspects, where you technically are playing as them as you live their memories. So you basically keep switching characters and going deeper and deeper in a sort of Inception kind of way. Like memories within memories within memories.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's really disorienting. The game's only 4.5 hours long. It's $30 on every platform. It's if you've ever played Bloober Team's game Observer, it's heavily inspired by that in a lot of ways, you can tell. It's not a Bloober Team horror game, but it's obviously very heavily inspired by Bloober Team horror games like Layers of Fear and Observer, because it plays mechanically a lot like them. And there are very few enemy encounters. The only other enemy encounter I had that was similar was the 4-armed monster was coming for me in an area where I had to, like, grab these hearts from these things, and he would be following this maze-like path. You just had to basically lure him into these hands that are growing out of the ground where he stops. Then when his chest opens, you take a picture of it. It's the easiest shit ever. I've never been so not scared in a horror game in my life, It's intense, I'm not gonna lie, like, especially because when he shows up, the music starts playing, but he's walking at a slow-ass Jason Voorhees pace, and it holds your hand. It's a game that wants you to finish it. It's designed to be finished, Even when the spooky parts come up, it holds your hand through them. So, overall, though, I do enjoy it, but I think I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, just because it's good. It's got a great story, great message, and all that, but the gameplay is a little lackluster, and the enemies could stand to be a little more threatening and a little more frightening. It's maybe perhaps a bit too easy for a horror game. I don't mind that with stuff like Layers of Fear and all that, but this was I wasn't expecting that going into this one, and The narrative isn't really anything new. A lot of things have done this before, this sci-fi dystopian corporate stuff. So, but I love the atmosphere. I love the story, the message. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. So I'd say like 7.5 out of 10 is my rating for that. So that is the transition from that. All right. All right, Nick just exited stage left. Deacon is still here with me, and we are going to wrap this up with his Media Corner entry, and then we will end the show.
All right, and so I'm going to be reviewing mostly the Devil May Cry Netflix original series. Well, original series that came out. I recently... I'm kind of obsessed with the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you were in Discord, you could actually see that my picture is Dante eating pizza off of the So I'm gonna be just basically describing similarities and differences between the game and the show. I'm just gonna start off by saying the animated series is explicitly stated to be re-imaging set in its own separate universe. It's not directly connected to the canon established in the games, though it does pull some of the personalities and traits and some of that stuff from the game to inspire the characters. Of course, like Dante, Lady, Virgil. You might have to cut Virgil out. You have to cut that one out too. I just remember. Anyways, and also like the reoccurring demons and bosses. It's the anime is more centered around the I would say the military versus hell, or Makai, as you would say. I more watch it for the animated gore, the action and stuff like that. What I really liked was how they emphasize on the combat. Both the anime and the game are heavily focused on it, featuring stylish and over-the-top combat sequences and stuff like that. But like a lot of people don't think it's not where it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be more. And I mean, like, yeah, because in the games you can do a way more than you can on a show on Netflix. These guys are only limited to a budget. They already have season 2 coming out, and that's because they fucking blew up. I mean, everyone watched it at least twice over because they already announced a season 2. What was it, a month after they released the first season?
Okay.
Like, it's just, I mean, I really like it. Dante, Dante in game, he's a demon slayer. Demon hunter. And now in this show, he's also a demon hunter as well, just more of a Deadpool-esque type instead of the nonchalant that you have in game. But I mean, again, this is different, a different universe, different. This is a re-image of Devil May Cry, just because they wanted to make it an animated series. Well,
I've played the Devil May Cry games, and I do definitely remember Dante doing quippy one-liners quite a bit.
Okay, yes, he did have that. The signature jackpot move.
Yeah,
the stance and everything with the guns. I think I do remember that in the game, though, that he had pistols that that he didn't break every time he used. Or wait, I know he kept having to grab guns. I know that for sure. But looking at it also as well, the lore and setting, demonic realm and human world. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we have two different worlds. We have humans who are afraid of demons, and then we have the Makaians that are afraid of humans because they don't understand them and what their situation is.
Right.
But the one thing I loved that I loved to see was Sparta. The story of Sparta and everything used, like Dante's background and stuff like that. And just everything that was all wrapped up around that. The one thing I don't really like, but at the same time do, is the military. Darkcom wasn't a thing in the game. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Darkham wasn't really a thing. Now, Lady was, but she was a lone type. She was a rogue, demon hunter. She was all by herself, kicking ass. And now the Darkham has control of Lady, so like I want to see where they go with that. Now that makes me more interested because they have a different story going on. Now it's been a while since I played the games, but I don't remember Dante getting captured at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's not like a direct adaptation. It's more of a whole new story, it seems.
Right. And in this one, he got captured, 4 different times?
Okay. I was going to say that's kind of what Fallout did, but actually the Fallout show exists in the same continuity as the games. So that's
Right.
like it is a different story, but in the same world. But this sounds like it's a whole separate, more like the Resident Evil movies have nothing to do with the games.
Exactly.
Kind of
Yes. Look at it like that. Look at it like that kind of perspective. Devil May Cry Netflix series has it's a whole different thing because I mean
Okay.
in the game, was there ever a white demon rabbit?
I don't remember, to be honest. It's been so long.
Yeah, I need to also replay the games. I mean, if I replay it and I find a demon rabbit, then I'll be like, oh, cool. But there is another thing I didn't like about it. Dante had maybe 60% screen time of the whole series. And and the series was mostly around Lady and the White Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Huh. Because I was going to say, in the video games, there's definitely 3 protagonists total.
Virgil,
that you play
Dante, and Lady.
Nero.
Nero, that's right. That's right.
I don't think you ever play as her.
No, but she's in 2 or 3 of the games.
Yeah, no, she's definitely a main character, but I mean, as
I
far
don't
as
think-
the ones
yeah.
you play as, it's just those 3.
Right. But at the same time though, I really like everything about the show. Like I've said, I've rewatched it 3 or 4 times now, and and it's because I've said before I'm a creature of habit. I really like rewatching things, and also I'm just very, very quote unquote forgetful. So I mean, I really liked it. I really liked the show. A lot of people out there really hate it because they're like, oh, this wasn't in the game. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, they legit said that this is a separate universe, completely different. This is going to be an original plot in and of itself with similarities from the game. Listen up and read into things, will you not, please? You know?
Yeah, every time they reboot Batman, it's a new story. So.
Exactly. I mean, how many times have they done that now?
Exactly. So, yeah. What do you think of the soundtrack? Because I know there's a lot of discourse between fans about whether or not the soundtrack is fitting.
Look, you can reach out to me, people. I don't know. I don't care how you do. I don't care if you want to reach out to me or anything like this. This is my opinion of this soundtrack. I love it. This I think it fits his personality so much. Just because of how his personality isn't like in the games, it's more of a, like I said before, Deadpool. It's a Dante Deadpool mixture right there, and I mean, how better else can you do it? Also, the voice actor for Dante, get this, is Virgil's son from the games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So Virgil's son, I forgot his name, is Dante's voice the voice actor for Virgil's son is Dante's voice for the Netflix series. And I have to say, bravo, you could not have done a more better job of picking someone for that role.
Nero.
Yeah, Nero. Okay, Nero, yes. He is a really good Dante. He did him very, very well. If you have a problem with who voice acted Dante, I understand that a lot of people wanted the original voice actor. Go get fucked. Look, we like we need things that are newer. Yes, we all want the nostalgic feeling of having the original voice actor, but you gotta change sometimes. And like I said, separate universe is an original plot line now with similarities from the game. And one of the top beings of it's literally Nero playing as Dante. And it's like the perfect pick.
That is pretty badass.
Like, I mean,
So-
I mean, how else could you like say that if someone comes up to you in an interview and you're the producer of this show, and they're like, so what else like inspired this and whatnot, and you look at them and be like, well, I was able to get one of the original voice actors from the game to voice our main actor, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. So this is only one season in so far, right? You said.
Yeah, so it's a one season in so far. Again, I recommend it. It is already scheduled. It's already said on the top. If you go straight into it, go into it. Devil May Cry on Netflix. It already says at the top, Jackpot Season 2 is coming out, and it's something that gives you goosebumps. Because there's only 8 episodes. Each episode is about 30 minutes long. Most of them actually come down to about 20, 29. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So on a 10 scale, what rating would you give season 1 of this show?
I am very, very biased. So I give this a 9 out of 10. I love the animation. Now a lot of people say that the animation that they've done for it is kind of chalked. They go from 3D to 2D. Now understand that they don't have the budget of millions of dollars. They only have 8 episodes to do this and a budget. But with the budget that they had, the animation is so good. Like, you have to appreciate the amount of work that these people do to put in for episodes and shit like this. You know how much it takes to put in for 30 minutes of animation? Like, just put 1 minute per day. That's probably basically put that into a factor. Like,
Fair enough.
just appreciate it for the story. I watch things for the story.
Yeah.
If it's bad animation, oh fucking well. It's in my eyes, it's good. The story is good. I like it. And I like
a lot of people kept saying that the animation for the most recent season of Invincible was really bad throughout a lot of it. Like, the budget got cut, and then you get to the final episode of the season and you see why. It's because they put all the budget there.
They put all the budget into the last episode. Understand? They explained this in season 2 of Invincible. They were like, dude's literally standing like, how did you get that fight to look so good? Well, actually, what we had to do was we actually had to allocate money from this to over to this. So we had to make a picture.
Yeah, that Comic-Con joke.
Yes,
yeah.
And he was
that
like,
was funny.
And I mean, it's been stated multiple times and all over that animation takes time. You can't just you can't make a video in one go. Yeah, there are people that can sit there and for a day and make a little tiny 30-second short animation but give them a budget of $100,000 and give me 8 episodes of this show. You are not going to be able to do it because you are going to need to get artists, people that know how to draw, and people that know how to animate digitally and all this other stuff. You need... I don't know that much. I always wanted to go into the digital-esque type area of formatting and digital animation and stuff like that, like game development, and see how it's all actually made. But me brain no work sometime and me brain kind of go big dumb sometime and me forget how to work. So I turn into big bulky man who works with metal pipe. then that's how it goes. But
Og not like scary numbers.
not like scary number. I don't like. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Leave me alone.
So any final thoughts on the Devil May Cry anime before we wrap the show up?
I highly recommend it. If you have time, it does not take long. It's probably maybe a 4 to 5 hour binge if you're looking for something cool to watch on the side, or if you just want to listen to it. Amazing soundtrack. I like it. Like I said before, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Highly recommended. Please watch.
Well, it went from a 9 to a 9.5 now.
Oh, did I put it at 9? Oh, well, yeah, I'll put it at 9.5. Yeah, it's 9.5. After talking about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. I'm sorry that our third co-host couldn't be here for this, but man, we made this a long one anyway somehow. So.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
hey,
I appreciate the invite. I appreciate being out here. I mean, if it ever does come up again, I'm off on Saturdays, and I'm down to always come back out if you guys want. And I can't wait. I hope to hear more from you guys. You know. It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again for another one for sure. There are definitely a few guests that we want to get back again at some point, so. We'll put you in the rotation for another one down the line for sure.
Sounds awesome, man. It was a fun time.
So where can the listeners find you on social media if they'd like to follow you and see what you're up to?
Well, you can definitely find me on Facebook, Deacon Wolf. Don't really mind. I have over 1,000 friends on there, a lot of people on there. But I'm also doing a relaunch of my channel. If you are on here and listening and you know of my channel used to be called Deacon at 12. I am now trying to do a quote-unquote rebrand of my channel. I am now going to be naming it Dark Wolf Den, and it will be mostly around playing multiplayer games with my friends, horror-like games, Phasmophobia, Schedule 1 rounds, stuff like that. It will be rated 18 plus, so please do not come over if you are not an adult, because 1, you won't get half the jokes, and 2, your parents won't like what they hear. So, yeah.
This is an explicit podcast too, so
yeah. So just to let you know, if you're over here in the first place, go to bed. Don't get What are you doing? Don't listen to this. Why are you listening and why are you here? I'm kidding. Thanks for the support, anyways. But yeah, no. I hope to be relaunching it by the end of May.
Don't tell your parents.
Yeah. Don't tell your parents. Don't tell them I exist. Or maybe they do. You got a sister that's 18 years old, or I am single. Go ahead and hit me up. Anyways, I plan on relaunching the YouTube channel by the end of May. I hope to have some videos to put up there, and especially a vlog of an update for the channel. Hopefully by the 15th of May. If not, I will find a time. But I will be doing that, and that's how you reach out to me.
All right. And as far as everyone else, you can find Nick at The Gaming Fiend 1 at several places: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, all that stuff. He's on all the things, basically. Brooksy wasn't here tonight, but you can find him at Brooksy My Boy, that's boy with an I, on Instagram. As for me, if you're listening to this on YouTube, let me know in the comments about some of your favorite comedy stuff. Remember to smash that like button if you enjoyed the episode. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment down below. I don't know how it works all the other places, but you can also email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com, and we will read your email on the show if you do so.
Make it clean.
Yeah. Yes. That'll be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.